You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This is not my home. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network. That is a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also dive into other nerdy subjects that we all love to frolic about in our free time, including Peter Verra. Batman Book Club is also on Patreon if you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show and keep those generators running in the Wayne Manor study. Just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc and join the other patrons who are very, very generously also participating on Patreon. So thank you for listening to episode 155, Batman in May. Another month in the books, which means I have another recurring voice. You know him around these here parts. You can see our faces on the Batman Book Club YouTube channel, where we have behind the scenes note, we have wrapped The Road to No Man's Land, but we have one more part to release on the YouTube, which is coming soon. He joins us here every month. He's our favorite Italian, Andy Frolics. Peter Arvera. Peter, hello.
I want you to ask your dad if he's ever frolicked.
Okay. That'd be really funny. Yeah. I really have no idea what he will say.
I'm very interested to hear what Mr. Lauer has to say about frolicking.
Hey, Dad. So, and Arnold does say, Dad, Pete wants to know.
Yeah, does he even know who I am?
Huh?
My internet friend. Yeah, no way.
No, we are real friends. We met in real life. We exist. We don't just.
We did.
We don't pretend that
avatars.
Twitter is reality. Yeah, it's a real thing. So, how you doing, Pete?
I'm good. I'm doing very
Good.
well. How are you?
Swell. It's grilling season. It is hot. It is sunny. Indiana has had a hot streak in May of actually being summer. This doesn't usually happen from beginning to end.
What are you in the 90s?
We're in the upper 80s today. We're hitting 90s.
Good for you.
The next couple days for sure. But
Nice.
I know you've even sent us pictures. I'm pretty sure you've posted on social media that you've kicked open the grill.
It's been fun. I've had some cheeseburgers, made some ribs, hot dogs, good stuff. All the standard summer grill classics.
What is your favorite thing to throw on the grill?
Dinner.
Okay. Fruity Pebbles. do you grill Fruity Pebbles, Pete?
No, you can't grill Fruity Pebbles within reason.
All right, Fruit Loops.
How are they going to stay on the grill?
What if you glaze?
Do you grill? Have you
glaze a
grilled?
chicken? Yeah. I don't. Oh no, I have grilled. I don't own a grill. But yeah, I've grilled, chicken, burgers. The standard hot dogs. With that, I'll get a little crazier eventually, I'm sure. Have you ever glazed a chicken with Mountain Dew?
No, I've glazed a ham with root beer and Dr. Pepper.
Well, then it's not too far out of the realm of possibility. Then substitute for root beer. Okay,
you could probably make some good barbecue sauce with Mountain Dew. It's got
absolutely you could.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, one of these days I'll make it to one of your big cookouts. It will happen. And we can try this, okay?
Sure. If you find a recipe, I'm sure we have all the ingredients. We just need the soda.
I've got the Mountain Dew. We just need the soda. Do you know who you're talking to? Pete, I brought 16 cases of Mountain Dew. Do you think that's enough?
I think we only need like a 2 liter. I think we'd be fine with one bottle.
Well, I know you'll have. We'll use the 2 liter on that. I'm drinking the cases of Dew, so that's usually how that works out. Yeah, but anyways,
there's also beer.
And they're white,
beer.
so
you can have a beer.
Okay, you know what?
You would like the jungle juice.
Yeah, I've had jungle juice before.
You'd like
it's yummy, but you know what? Haas has never. He's been to those Tennessee parts where that Mountain Dew alcohol drink was being sold, and I need to try that still.
There's a Mountain, like a.
There 3 different flavors last year, but anyways, okay. This show is not sponsored by Mountain Dew, although it should be. Anyway, let's
Okay.
let's talk Batman comics released in May.
Sure.
First Tuesday in May. This is a good month. The first Tuesday in May was Batman number 135.
Yeah.
Legacy title numbering, number 900. Yeah. So I think they're going the Marvel route with some of these legacy titles and doing like parentheses and stuff like that.
Like, oh God, pick a number. Stop being an idiot.
Exactly. Just switch, and from here on out now it's like 901. You should just do that. But anyways, it's a big celebratory issue. It's one that I say every month we kick that one off because it's usually the first Tuesday. It's also the one that I write reviews for on Batman on Film. Yeah. So I'll go first in this issue, and Pete, I
think I should go first.
You think so? All right, let's switch it up. Okay, you go first. No, you go first with Batman. I'll go first with the Detective.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
That was a joke, but sure, we'll go for it.
That's right.
I really like this issue a lot. Like, I've been really critical of this, but I thought this was really cool. And the timeline stuff it all kind of started to make sense to me. I still think it took a little bit too long to get there, but once Zdarsky got there, he kind of achieved his goal. I mean, Jesus, are we in Batmania or what? Like, Keaton's back, he's in Quint. Like, and then you get some BTAS, you get some Kelly Jones, you get some Arkham. And then you get some Batman Beyond, and you get some Nightfall, and like it was like, wow, this covers everything. Dark Knight Returns, like this is such like just a history lesson of Batman in a way that if you're not a seasoned reader, it can, or if you're not a seasoned Batman fan, a lot of it probably doesn't hit with you because you don't know what the hell's going on. There's a lot of dedication, you have to kind of be there for it, but this is really remarkable, this singular issue. I'm interested to see where it goes. It's still a bit out there for my personal Batman taste, but at the end you get Bruce and Tim hugging, and like, because Tim's been on the backup story journey trying to find Bruce, and then you get to Javi's favorite page of all time, which he's going to have framed and signed by every artist.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, like this is going to be like a mural.
He's selling a Prime 1 statue so that he can buy the original art of that last page and get it framed.
He's Javi will make he'll take out the loan for the hot toys, life-size replica. Like, that's how much he's going to love this thing.
Good for him.
This is very interesting to me. I'm curious to see where it goes. It seems like there's a Fruity Pebbles Batman for every generation of Batman, and I'm kind of interested. Like I said, this is an interesting concept. It's not really my thing, but I'm going to follow along until it gets bad, which is, that's a story for another book.
You're going to follow along because we talk about it every month anyway. Now, whether you buy them or not, that's another discussion.
I did physically buy this, mostly because of Keaton, but I did buy this book. It was very good.
I loved the issue.
Yeah,
I thought it was a blast. Of course, the Keaton page, well, not even the full page. It was just the Keaton drawing itself. That was ruined to me. Thanks, internet. But outside of that, but I didn't see like, damn it, I wasn't like totally angry. And then after reading the issue, I was even less bugged because it's like, well, that was just one image. No clue all of the extras that were also coming after that one image, which I thought was so much fun. And I thought in the end, it was just a lot of fun. I haven't deconstructed it to see if it it was just nerd Ryan just enjoying the nerding out with all the Batman stuff, but the story itself doesn't work or anything like that. But I loved it. Just going through, I know there's the next Batman issue, I think, is like a Batman and Catwoman crossover story, I believe. So I don't know the Zur-En-Arrh outcome with that at all, and I don't know past. And I thought Dawn of DC was on the cover of this issue.
It was. It'll conclude. This is, if anything, this is like old school publishing days where they're just like, the story's out of order.
So I just like, I don't know with any of that. Zdarsky, I think he did good in a sense. This story honestly could be, it doesn't disrupt anything, I don't think. Because it's almost like he got zapped a different kind of, multiverse, traveled again through multiverse to see all these Batman timelines, and then he's out of it at the end and
then he got his hand back.
He can go anywhere. Yeah.
I was like, when he cut off his hand, I was like, oh God, what are they doing?
I know. I mean, I can't help but just think of, and this is over a decade ago, but I think Robert Kirkman had said he regretted cutting off Rick Grimes' hand so early on because it came, like, no pun intended, and not making fun of it, but it came like a handicapped with the character of things to do with the character, because he's like, well, oh yeah, I cut off his hand. Damn it. I can't help but think of when something like that happens. Of course, it was a surprising moment last issue, but also I was like, come on, that thing's coming back. You can't have you can't have a handless Batman. But yeah, this issue was just kind of a bit of a knockout. So I think when this story itself comes out, I'm gonna get the hardcover when it comes out. Yeah, I really like this one. It was just so much fun. And then in my review, I think I talked to you about it. I know I talked to Javi about it. I didn't think it was stupid or not, but I tried to call out every version that shows up in this in my review without being too heavy-handed with it. And it probably is very blunt. It wasn't hidden very well. That was all just a lot of fun. So yeah, like, great issue. Great capper for this story. The story that I've enjoyed, but I think this was definitely the best issue of the bunch.
Yeah.
So let's move along.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Conclusion. Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo, number 7. Go ahead. Take it away. Wait, you went first last time. This is a capper to this story by Mark Silvestri, written and drawn by. I thought this was a good capper too. A good confrontation at the end, as is, I feel, kind of, it wasn't eye-rolly completely, but it's the end, ... With comics anymore, stories are like, what was that?
For now.
Yeah, and comics anymore, there isn't the end, big punctuation. It is an ellipsis. So that part's all it was like, oh, how long till we see her again? But I like this story. I thought it was so much fun. I thought it was drawn really well. It felt like a good throwback, like a mature throwback story that, yeah, of course I'll take another dose that Silvestri has, like, a next chapter of this or something. I'm there.
It's interesting enough for me to be like you and want another chapter. Like, I'm like, okay, this is a very cool story. Like, the Batman Joker stuff was very good. You throw in this Corpse Bride chick.
Yeah, Corpse Bride.
Kind of interesting. Again, like, a little bit more supernatural for my liking for Batman, but the mystery of it was pretty cool. The whole, like, background of the who, the why, and the how it ties into the Joker. But yeah, like, the ending was interesting. Just because, like, I was like, oh, she's still around, and okay, it feels like she's gonna be, I don't even really know what to call her. I forget her name.
I forget too.
It seems like she'll
Corpse Bride.
Yeah, she's just
a Warner Brothers property, so you can say Corpse Bride. Yeah.
Okay. She just seems like she'll be a focal point of whatever the sequel is.
Yeah.
It seems like this is kind of a, an old-fashioned Gotham City love triangle between her, Batman, and the Joker, and we probably haven't seen the last of it.
I never looked to see if it sold well. I hope it did. Because I think we both mentioned it too, and I'm not the first to say it. I'm sure it felt like a 90s comic book in a way. Old school, and I really dug that. I like that quite a bit. So I hope this is a case of, obviously, a totally different story, but within this world that's been set up in a way.
The Silvestri
be interested. Yeah, there you go. Another one.
Is this Black Label? Does it say Black Label?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Okay, all right.
That's for cool. Mature readers. Pete, one of our favorite games to play on this. It's been a while since Batman, since Batman the Audio Adventures. It's back on track. I don't know why the delay between issue number 5 and issue number 6. I think issue 5 came out in like February, so we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. But it was good to hop back into it for its final. It has 2 this issue and then one more next month, hopefully. Hopefully. But this was fun. I mean, it was back into this. I had to sit and think a little bit about where it was, and I remember these dudes in masks going after the sword, and
it came back.
Roz is involved. Not the highlight, but what I remember the most with this is the Croc and Baby Doll. For some reason, like that has just been that's fresh in my memory. And then when Penguin and Robin popped back in, I was like, oh yeah, there's this part too, and Scarecrow's kind of entwined in that. But I think this is a lot of fun. It's still fun. I still really like the art and the coloring for this. This is going to be unless it's just like a crash and burn finale, I'm going to pick this up when the trade is released. Because I really like the style and world, and I don't even think of the audio series, which I haven't caught up on. But it's a fun little universe that it blends really well of fun yet still serious and a little dark in spots. And it's a good mix of the two.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a balance of like 66 and BTAS in a way. Like, you know, like I kind of get vibes of either one here. They're just like, it's just like for me, this is like my Batman Scooby-Doo. This is like my lighthearted, enjoyable, you know, kind of, let's say like Hanna-Barbera Batman. You know, like those are just the vibes I get from reading this story. And that's why I have so much fun with it. Because it's just it's accessible, it's easy to digest, and it's the Penguin drools a little bit, but it's not my preferred version.
It's
but
not black goo.
Yeah, it's you know, in other words, it's like within character, right? The Penguins, if you're gonna do it, you know, remember it does have reference points now. Now there are multiple ones. But it's just like I said, accessible, and you can kind of like fly through it, and it just to me, this is like the equivalent of like watching a Batman cartoon, and I love it. And I love the audio adventures, the actual podcast itself. I beg of you to catch up on that because you're going to love it. It's so much fun. It's easy listening. I'm really big on this, and like, again, like it reminds me of like when I was rereading Batman 66. You just having so much fun. Like, you know, where this kind of Batman leads to. And again, total palate cleanse from something like Deadly Duo or Batman or whatever the 1-900, whatever the issue is.
1-900.
Yeah, Batman 1-900. So again, just a nice little just change of pace, and it checks off a lot of boxes that I think are necessary to just kind of keep you active and keep you interested.
I like what you said of it's like a palate cleanser from Deadly Duo. And that's not meant as a negative. It's, hey, here's another Batman comic book issue, but it doesn't feel like, oh, another Batman comic book. It's like, no, it's it's a totally different flavor, which it's still tastes really good. Yeah. And then Batman's in the Bat Gyro, which I really liked as well.
McFarlane, hello, can I get one, please? A two-pack would be great.
Doesn't he listen to you? You're basically a McFarlane shrill.
If McFarlane had kids, I'd definitely put them through college.
Fair. That's fair. That wraps up for Batman titles that first Tuesday. Let's go to the second Tuesday of the month. And at the beginning of this month, the very first episode that I dropped on the Batman Book Club, I got to speak to a Deadly Duo themselves of Katana Collins and Clay McCormick, the writers of Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker. Sean Murphy popped in for a quick 15 seconds, which was also a nice little surprise, but tracked that down a few episodes ago. It was an awesome conversation talking to both of them. I had gotten to read the issue before I talked to them about it, but I really wanted to make sure to go completely spoiler free, which we did. And now you and I can talk spoilers. Loved this issue, this first one. We've talked on here before. You and I got, I think when we started the monthlies, it was post Curse, right? Maybe post Harley also. But you and I, we've gotten to do Beyond the White Knight. We got to do every issue Beyond the White Knight. We did
Beyond the White Knight and Jason Todd.
That's right. I kind of feel like in this world, Murphy can do no wrong, and he's got a story credit here. But the other two, Clay and Katana, they both, Clay did the 2 Red Hood issues that were in the intermission of Beyond, and Katana did the Harley Quinn 6-issue series. Both of those, I loved them. I thought they were great. So I kind of feel like White Knight can do no wrong, and this is a good test in a sense because it's following the two children. It's a road trip. how Joker, yet again, it's almost the trippiest thing of all of this is how Joker's still involved. Batman / Bruce is, he pops into this issue as well. And then I thought the punctuation mark at the end I thought was fun, because it's usually a version of that character that I'm never really, just chomping at the bit waiting for. But also when this one pops up, it's like a cool reveal and cliffhanger waiting for, like, okay, let's see where this goes, and totally ties into like instantly makes you think of relating to Curse of the White Knight.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I was gonna say, go ahead. Tell me.
This, I might actually like the side stories more than the main White Knight stories.
Do tell.
Between this, Jason Todd, Harley, like that's some of the most creative Batman content I've ever read.
Nice.
Murphy and company might be the most creative people to ever touch Batman. Ever since he shot Jack in the head, he has completely blown my mind. I'm not a big Curse guy. I don't like Curse, is probably the one I like the least. White Knight's fantastic. Beyond's fantastic. The 3 side stories are brilliant. So far, this is off to a fantastic start. I did not know what I was getting into. By issue's end, my jaw was on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally invested in the Murphyverse.
Yeah.
And he does things like, I remember when we found out that it was Jason Todd ahead of Grayson, we all kind of questioned it. But this is some of the best Batman stuff I've ever read. And that's high praise. And this generation joke, it's very creative.
Yeah.
Like you said, how they're still able to incorporate Joker. And I like how I liked how we got to see what's her name, Robin. She's a nice character. I'm glad we got to see more of her. I forget her name.
GAN. So I don't know if it's Gone or Gan. But I think I like just got a Gone.
I like her.
Said it too, but yeah.
I'm into this. I can't wait to see where this goes, because this is just so trippy, in my opinion. This is just like this is like some cracked out stuff. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. It's just, I'm
into it, man.
It was fun. I read it twice.
I didn't think I was going to be into this. I'm really into this.
I wasn't like hesitant per se. It was just almost like with Beyond, and I'd said to them earlier this month of like sci-fi and anime. They're kind of not. I have nothing against them. I know they have massive audiences, but they're not my go-to genres. I'm like a little like, maybe I'll pass. And I'm not the biggest Beyond fan. I do like it, but I don't like love it. And I was like, those are 3 ingredients, coming into Batman, Beyond the White Knight. But and I read it and I loved the series. Stay tuned next month. And
I love how they all mimic Murphy's art, by the way.
Then here, like the vibe is a little bit almost like sci-fi and anime. And it's following Joker's 2 kids. You could almost think there's some hesitancy, but I didn't have any here because I'm like, well, I've established now that they can do no wrong with this world and the decisions they make.
I mean,
and then,
that whole
this issue,
love
great.
triangle of Bruce, Harley, Joker is still insane in itself.
The
kids part talking to their hologram father is totally fine for me. I still can't get past the love triangle. So like, this is nothing.
Then nothing. Yeah. So
I was like, whoa, they did this. Like, like, I'm like, wait a second, Bruce is dating Harley. What's going on here?
But wait, but it's Jack inside of Bruce.
Yeah.
Imagine all of us if our body was Bruce Wayne's body. What would we do?
Push-ups.
Push-ups.
Drink green drinks.
So I mean, strap in. Good first chapter. 5 more to go.
Really captivating stuff.
Excited.
Really. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I love the Harley stuff the most, to be honest. Like, that's really fun for me.
Yeah. I just reread White Knight. I want to
buy that hardcover.
Curse and the Harley Quinn tie-in.
I think he's overdue for an Absolute edition.
Come on, DC. People will buy it. I wonder how you'd break that up, though.
I think you could probably do how many issues is each arc? Because there's 8. I think you could sell each as an Absolute, and then you could probably put, like, I don't know, would you combine the side stories in a way?
3 Jokers. Excuse me. the three Jokers, I mean, that's going to be an absolute. It's like 220 pages, I think.
Mhm.
One of
Killing
the
Joke
main
short.
White
Year
Knight
one.
stories is 8 issues with and
Wasn't
then
year
some
one
X
only like
like
what? How
so.
many issues is year one? That's not a lot.
No, but it did something fun with that and did the
Well, they gave you
original
the
printing, and then
newsprint.
the
Yeah.
new one they
But they
included
could still do stuff like that. I'd be down
letters
if
to
they
the
tried
den and
something like
stuff.
that. Like,
I
oh,
feel
we
like
printed this old school. I'd be like, I'd be down for that.
I feel like he has a lot of content, like extra content that you could throw into. I don't know.
Extra
I'm
features.
all for it. Give us an absolute. I would love it.
Yeah, give Ryan a reason to buy a hardcover.
Then I'm there.
Mm.
Yeah, great start. In short, great start. We like it.
Oh yeah, Uxus. Oh.
Uxus. Next up, the Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #8. Pete, did you read this one?
I did not. I did not get a chance to get this one in. I didn't get it
Okay.
in.
This one's all right. A twist in a sense. It's almost like there's another Mystery Inc. gang that Batman's working with. So
Uh-oh.
the original Mystery Inc. gang comes and they get a little bit jealous and very curious, like, why is Batman choosing them over us? Of course, Shaggy and Scooby are like, hey, we're good. They want to bail. And then it all comes together at the very end. It's fun. It's more, I don't want to say more of the same and in like a negative, but by now you know what you're getting when you get the series, I think. As long as it maintains that level of I guess like innocence and fun of the two worlds and doing the characters justice. That's kind of all you should really expect, and it didn't deter from that at all. It was good.
Will you let me know when Scrappy shows up? I'll be interested.
I will, and hopefully it's never, unless he shows up to get beheaded. Ooh,
I can't believe you hate Scrappy Doo that much. You're so
yeah,
mean.
he sucks.
He's great. He's one of my favorites.
Bring in Scooby Dum before Scrappy.
Scrappy and Red Herring, two of my favorite characters.
Red Herring would be good on the grill. I'm kidding. Anyways,
Red Herring.
It's just got dark. You can have the crack at the next one. Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3, #5, the conclusion to this arc. Go, Pete.
Yeah, this story's been kind of meh for me.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the best one they've done between Dini and Burnett. It's serviceable. It's not horrible. There's other books that we'll talk about that are absolutely dreadful. But this is, it's okay. It's just not. I just haven't been into this whole Joker straight man story really.
Yeah.
But we will. Is this the end? This isn't the end, is it?
It's supposed to be 2 more issues, I believe.
Okay, but I know it's the end of the story. I wasn't sure.
And I hope that they're 2 standalone issues. I don't need a 2-issue arc. I'd like, let's go one and done deal to wrap this.
The cover for this book is awesome, though. That's probably the best thing about the book, in my opinion.
Because it's got King Shark on it.
King Shark, Harley, Katana, Boomerang, the Boomerang, Batman, Robin, Batgirl look great. It's just an awesome cover, to be honest with you.
It includes a lot. I thought this issue was all right. I thought this arc is, I don't think they've had yet. So this is, season 3 of Adventures Continue. And I don't think they've had a story that sucked or anything.
No.
But this is towards the bottom of like my least favorite of all of them that I've read. Yeah, I can't think of another one that instantly pops up in my head. Maybe I forget his name. Whoever the jazz story.
I didn't mind that one. It was all right.
I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's definitely in line. We're just like, okay. Right.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's just a little bit, probably a little bit more of a bummer because it's the Joker and not some random villain from the 50s.
It's not like Jazzman. So it was fine. We'll see where
you ever do Jazzercise
next month. I haven't.
I'm just wondering.
Jazzercise. Oh my gosh, that's a Jim Carrey. Oh, that's the Grinch. As the Grinch, he says Jazzercise. Okay. Anyways,
it's all connected because he was a Riddler.
It's all connected. Sis. I'm going to be gracious again, I think, because I want to hear your thoughts on the 16th. A new sort of anthology series, Batman, the Brave and the Bold #1 kicked off. And within this first issue, there's the main story, Batman, the Winning Card, part 1, written by Tom King, art and colors by Mitch Gerrits. And then the last, like a shorter story at the very end, Heroes of Tomorrow, with story and art by Dan Mora. We're big fans of Dan Mora. Pete, I'll let you kick it off first for this issue.
Yeah, like, first of all, just change the title of the book. It's The Brave and the Bold. You put Batman on there to sell books. It's kind of misleading. The Tom King story is really good. I enjoyed that. It was kind of crazy. But it feels like a vintage King story. I did not like the second story with Bones. I usually like Bones, but once I saw Ghostmaker, I tuned out. The Superman story was good. I enjoyed that. I especially enjoyed the artwork. I thought it was really great. And then I thought there was some fun Lois and Clark interaction there. Dan Moore's story was interesting. I'm not sure if I'm assuming this takes place as a continuation of Future State stuff. It was okay for $8 and 2 stories. I don't know. I don't know. I'll finish the Tom King story and I'll see where it lands, but I don't know if this is going to turn into another Urban Legends. I have to be really honest.
I wondered that as well. I was going to read it for sure because the creative team for the first story. I loved the first story. I thought it was dark. It was unsettling. The time period of it taking place was basically year 1. Because it even says Gotham City, year 1. And it ties into that, and it's just like Joker, how he's like him around that child and stuff too. It's very like, this is I don't know. You wondered if this was a cat playing with its food, or if he's really nothing's going to happen. I don't know, but I thought the art was really good. It was unsettling. The story itself, the only flag I had a little bit was almost how Batman was with that guy at the beginning, and not through, like, he's on the train tracks and Batman's just letting him until the last second. That almost feels a little too brutal for Batman, getting too close for like threatening with death to get an answer. But then this is also year 1 before he's completely, he has a lot to learn. It's very that early of Batman. But otherwise, everything else of that story, I thought, I just thought was great.
Yeah, the title is what really pisses me off, because it's just, this book is just The Brave and the Bold. Like, yeah, I would be stubborn enough to be like, you're trying to just steal my money now. Like, I'm more pissed off that you tried to pull a fast one over me than anything else.
Well, I'm with you in the sense of we'll see after
because I felt like Urban Legends story had Batman's cast of characters in it. Like,
yes, it is Batman related.
Yeah, this seems like not, because there's half of the book isn't about Batman. One's a Superman story. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is just a Brave and the Bold book. And sometimes those stories are good, but that's, like I said, like,
it's not the point.
Sometimes when you take characters like Batman and make them more fantastical, it kind of ruins it for me a little bit. I don't mind like when Superman or Green Lantern or something like that is out there. Like, I think that has a little bit more leeway to go way out there.
Yeah.
But like, we'll talk about this in the Nightwing book. Like, there are times in Nightwing, like Tom Taylor, I'm like, oh God, what are you doing?
Yeah. I didn't read the 2 middle stories. I want to read the Superman one. I didn't even know the Stormwatch one, so I didn't know that Ghostmaker's in it. Yeah, that's an easy pass for me.
And I saw Ghostmaker. I was like, even Rose can't make me hang around for this.
Heroes of Tomorrow. I'm with you on, like, that was an interesting story. It was drawn wonderfully. I thought it was good. I kind of don't remember specifics on what happened right now, which I think is a little telling, but also you and I read a lot every month, so my memory's not great as it is. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know how many parts this Batman story is either, so I strap in, we'll see. Moving on, also that Tuesday, Batman Superman World's Finest number 15, an arc that has won me over on the book. Continues to be, I don't know, it's a little fantastical, I'd say.
This one gets really out there. This is definitely one of those issues you're like, oh God, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, and where I didn't hate it or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh man, 2 issues ago, I told you of like this is my favorite issue of this whole series. This issue, it does go out there. It goes there. Big Batman gets a bat suit from the Metal Men, basically, and like I don't know, it's it's like but it's fun too, which is kind of like so I didn't have a
cool
terrible
DC
time.
Comics like romp, like
Yeah,
a lot of people are involved. You get the Metal Men, Metamorpho, obviously, Stag, other villains pop up, and then you have this new villain, this Mazo thing, new Mozo, right? What do they call it? Like
Ultra Mozo,
Ultra Mozo or something.
something.
Yeah, so like it's but once Batman puts once Superman's
Morpho.
wearing a Metamorpho made a suit of Metamorpho and Batman is wearing the Metal Men, I'm like, man, Mark Waid, you are going. This is like the end of your Flash stuff. You're going far out there, bro. You are having you're like, I'm in the DC vault. What else can I pull out of thin air here?
Yeah.
So it was just very interesting. If you love DC lore and everything, then this is a story for you. But it's fun, it's enjoyable, a little bit far out there for me. Interested to see what goes on with Robin.
Yeah.
Robin had a nice little cliffhanger at the end of there. I wonder when is it a door? Is it a hologram? What's going to go on there? Is he going to turn into a bat missile? Like what's going I'm interested. I want to see what happens to Robin. So
it's kind of like I like Coca-Cola. I like Mountain Dew. When I'm drinking Mountain Dew and there's an accidental shot of Coca-Cola in there, I get put off a little bit because I'm like, whoa, I'm drinking Mountain Dew and I got to taste the Coke. And I like Coke, but I'm drinking Mountain Dew.
Okay.
When I'm reading my Batman, and then all of a sudden you've just got all this extra shit that just goes popping in, not expecting. It's a little off-putting where I'm like, well, I mean, surprises are good, but I was hoping for just like I know what the story has been at this point, and then they just threw in all this other extra stuff, and so like I don't know, it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll enjoy it more than others, and this time around I thought it was fine.
It was okay.
Didn't love it. Okay. Definitely didn't hate it, but
not bad. It's not bad by any means.
Yeah, and I know there's probably there's some fans of it that read it and just like, oh man, I loved it. And good for you. I'm glad you like it. I'm the grounded, gritty stuff. It's like I'm getting that. I've gotten that this month with the Deadly Duo, a complete Batman story in the audio.
Let's not act like that's really grounded.
Yeah, it's true. Let's go with gritty, dark and gritty. We'll go with that. Dark and gritty. Yeah, is there any grounded Batman stuff going on in comics right now?
Like, I guess in terms of what it is.
Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, the most grounded Batman tale.
Is it?
No.
Batman's got 7 sidekicks now. And Bill's like, no sidekicks, they're all
dead. Shocking this month. There was a Tuesday. There were no Batman comics released.
That's okay.
So then we'll jump to the 30th where they doubled down and released Detective Comics number 1072. Pete,
you got to go first.
Surprisingly, I didn't hate this issue.
That makes one of us.
I don't think I've flat out hated an issue of this arc. I've just been very bored and just kind of like more so reading just to get it over with. This issue was all right. I think it doesn't have as many ties to the other stuff, but also like it fits into the grander scheme, but also I kind of just have lost caring about what the grand scheme is. So it was just like it was a fine issue to me. And I was done with it, thought that was fine, and then moved on. I've said too many things about this Detective Comics run that I'm just not really a big fan. Nobody needs to hear me continue to go on and on about it. So that's where I end. Pete, take it away.
Did you read my review?
You bet I did.
What did you think? Was it too harsh? Because I think this book sucks. This thing is not good in my opinion. It's filled with nothing. I can't keep praising tactical elements of Batman over and over again. Nothing's changed.
No,
it's just so hollow. Like I don't know what's going on. Who is this Gold Fox man? what is this werewolf? What is going on? Someone explain it to me. Paul Herman, tell me what's going on, because I know you love this crap.
Paul will tell you what's
happening in this story. I don't know.
He thinks that we're crazy because we don't.
The last time I checked, wasn't there some redhead guy trying to buy Arkham? Like what? Where? There's no progression. It's just like things happen. Like, this is bad storytelling. I feel bad for V because he's a good writer. I don't know what he's doing.
There are people that enjoy this backup
story. I was like, duh, nope.
They're fans of this, and God bless them. And I'm glad that they're getting something out of it. I envy it. I wish.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I'd rather like the story, but I don't. So sorry, this is the series you're covering on BOF, and that it's probably tough to write because I've been there reviewing stuff that you don't like, and and then you have to continue on writing stuff you don't. I was like, but I don't like.
I was like, you know what? I've been nice for like 4 reviews in a row. I was like, I'm just gonna let loose a little bit here. Like, I'm not happy.
In context, I know how you felt of previous issues, and I told you, I was like, man, your reviews actually like are very nice considering how I think that you really feel in the book. And then that went out the window for this issue.
Yeah, I just enough's enough.
Yeah.
Enough was enough.
All right. Well, that wraps up for the Batman on a high note, right? Batman centric issues of the month. So now we know it's time to wrap it up with Batman. Always want to kick it off.
Subject.
What? I wouldn't read these if I hate.
You hate read them.
No, not at all. Joker, the man who stopped laughing. No Bermejo variant cover this month. That was a little sad. But it picks up next month because he's got one for next issue. But when you can't get Lee Bermejo, Francesco Matino, that's a good one to go with. So that's what I grabbed. But I mean, Matthew Rosenberg, Giandomenico, Giandomenico, artist. Great combination. Story continues to be fun, darkly twisted, but being like a lighter side of darkly twisted. It's just a lot of fun. I don't know how many issues this series is going for. So I'm just kind of curious on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a story can definitely feel much more focused if they do have an end in sight, as opposed to, well, it's ongoing. We don't know how many issues. But yeah, I don't know. More Katana versus Joker here, which I think was fun. Bringing Killer Moth. Manhunter, not Katana. Yeah.
Manhunter.
Bringing Killer Moth.
Killer Croc.
Barbara, Killer Croc, which is great. And then Barbara does something to help get Jason freed. It's just like a bunch of cool, fun elements. Fun Joker story.
This story really embodies everything that is the Joker. Like, I don't know who the real Joker is.
Yeah.
Like, I read this and I'm like, this is exactly the type of personality, person, ego, absurdity, insanity, everything that is inside the Joker. Like, this is what I think of. Rosenberg is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
The man could do no wrong. The backup story is great.
Yes.
It's just as entertaining.
Frank Villa's back on the backup too, which was really nice.
I enjoyed the Green Lantern parts and everything, the blowing of it's fun seeing the Joker get what he wants and still kind of like, he's still getting dumped on. Mm-hmm. Which is, you never really see that. You kind of see the Joker as like the big man on campus. You never see the other villains kind of go after him really. So it's a nice little change of pace. It kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say it devalues the Joker as much as it kind of, it's kind of like when like they depowered Superman a little bit, you kind of need the other villains to kind of go at him, because then that creates a good conflict, that's how I took it. I just, between these two stories, I'm like, geez, can we get Rosenberg to just write everything? Please.
Let's let him off the leash to just kind of do what he wants, because he does some twisted things that are like a lot of fun.
Ooh.
I think, and I'm all for that with comics. Sure, why not? Also, earlier this month, that same Tuesday, was Poison Ivy number 12. Another book that I told you, I'm like, it's a pretty simple read, and I think that's why I just keep reading it. Some of the art early on, I got a little lost in, of I didn't know what it's trying, like, this just seems really messy and I don't like it. But then the story took a turn that got me back to being invested in the direction that it's heading, that I'm going to continue reading this. And I think that this is a entertaining enough comic book series, and it continues to be so.
Yeah, I really like this because it really shows Ivy on her own, really. Like, usually it's Ivy and Harley together, and I know we get that by issues, or we're getting that by issues, and like they allude to it. Like, it's coming, but it's cool to see Ivy on the road doing her thing, you know, whatever. And the art didn't really take me. I thought it was kind of interesting, like how they interpreted like this whole like plant virus type, you know, mutation thing. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I think this is a very interesting story, and I'm looking forward to see what Willow Wilson can do with Harley and Ivy, because her solo Ivy stuff's been very cool. Like, usually, like, it's just cool because, you know, there's not many solo Ivy stories. Last time we got there was by Amy Chu, and that was years ago. So it's cool when Ivy gets her own book, and I like this. This seems a little bit more up my taste of what Ivy is. I kind of like Ivy a little bit more, like rogue. You know, she's not. You know, she's kind of like a Catwoman character. She's not really out there doing stuff just to do stuff. There's kind of like a reason, you know.
Yeah. Which I'm all for. I don't know. I'm all for, obviously. But yeah, if she's back in Gotham now and reunited with Harley at the end, so it is just like, okay, so is it gonna be Harley and Ivy, or Harley pops in here or there? I don't know. We'll see. But it's a good spot to get you, like, wraps up another kind of arc. We're getting ready to start a new one, and I care enough to follow and see where it goes. It's kind of out of order, but I mean, I'll wrap up with the Nightwing 104, because that kind of leans into the next one after that. But I didn't like this arc. I'm glad it's over. I was bored with it, read it out of necessity because I knew that it was the finale. It's the first arc in this Nightwing series since Tom Taylor's taken over that I didn't like. So
that's because it's the Titans book.
Exactly. But fun twist on that, Titans #1 launched this month, written by Tom Taylor, and I like that issue.
I actually thought Titans was better than Nightwing.
Oh, I thought it was loads better. I thought the Nightwing one felt like a forced teaser for Titans, and the Titans issue itself, I thought, was kind of hit, no pun intended, like hit the ground running with an interesting event, and then sped through all 20 whatever pages, set it up really nicely, had a interesting character moments, interesting hints at what's probably to come. Surprise character that many of us know now, maybe didn't know prior to January 2022. Nope, earlier than that, August 2021. Yeah, Titans was, I liked that one a lot. And then Nightwing's going to kick off with the new arc next month, which hopefully is just solo Nightwing, been what it has been prior to this arc of like him and Barbara and Bitewing, and I'm good with that. So that wraps up my Batman and Friends. What do you got, Pete?
Yeah, I think the best thing about this Nightwing book is how they tried to blend eras of Nightwing's costume into this Super Nightwing, which I hated.
Super Wing?
Yeah. I didn't like that. This is a Titans story, but it's like you said, I thought Titans was the better book. I probably won't be buying Titans. That story, while interesting, is just a little, it's not my thing. I don't know. But
yeah.
If I'm going to do some cost cutting, I'm afraid Titans is going to have to make the cut.
Yeah.
The backup story I really liked. I thought it was poorly drawn though, of this book. I actually preferred it. But yeah, like there's just parts of like, I don't know, like John Kent kind of looked like that Stranger Things kid.
Oh yeah.
It's just not a good drawn story at times, but I thought it was written really well, and it was cool seeing Nightwing in a circus environment again, and kind of be the mentor to John Kent But yeah, so we'll see. I'm more interested again next week's Nightwing or next month's Nightwing than I am this. I'm with you. I didn't really like the story. It seemed like a backdoor pilot to Titans, and if if you like that, if you like this, then you like that type deal. So I passed on that. But I thought,
what you got?
What do I got? There are 2 Harley Quinn books, like we keep talking about, Harley Quinn and then Harley Screws Up the DC Universe. Harley Quinn 30 I thought was really bad. I did not enjoy that, so I'm going to skip that one. Harley Quinn Screws Up the DC Universe is a awesome romp. Harley basically goes around right now. She is kind of responsible for the she basically takes Superman's rocket, saves herself, and Superman dies on Krypton. So she goes around, she's killing heroes left and right. She's literally screwing up the DC universe, and it's actually really fun. And it's really enjoyable. She kills Barry Allen too. Like she's really mistakenly going around killing the Justice League in different parts of the era. So it's pretty crazy. Starro's involved, and there's 2 Harleys in this book. This is the better Harley book.
Who's that one written by?
This one is written by, I believe is it Frank Terreri? Who is yeah, Frank Terreri. Thierry. I forget his name. I think
Tieri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Thierry, but Frank T.
Frank T. He's writing it. That's good. He's written some Harley Quinn, so he's
Is Stephanie still on the main Harley book?
No, it's actually written by Teenie Howard, who I actually like her Catwoman. As bad as her Harley Quinn is, her Catwoman's fantastic. I really think you guys should all be checking out this book. Lots of it. There's a nice little anime mix to the artwork really here that I'm digging a lot. Lots of gang violence, lots of gang fights. Catwoman's out of jail. Now she's teaming up with her buddy who just was kind of like filling the void, but she doesn't want to, she's kind of like, oh man, what's her name? I can't remember it. I think it's Aoki. But Aoki's kind of like her huntress, where she doesn't want, she's like, where she's like, Batman, I'm not your Robin. She's like, I'm not your, even though I look like a cat, I'm not your cat apprentice, type deal. So that's really cool stuff, but they work well together. And then Catwoman she's training Tomcat, who is the mafia boss's son, who is kind of like defected. So it's a lot of real cool stuff going on in Alleytown. So if you guys want a really cool Catwoman story, check out Catwoman 55. Batgirl's 18. I thought Batgirl's was going to be canceled after 18, but apparently it's got another issue.
Oh, okay.
This is really cool. Snipers in Gotham demanding the Batgirls turn in their identities, or people are going to die, which is, a generic enough story, but there's some really great Barbara elements with the Batgirls, some really good Batman elements with the Batgirls, where you see kind of a softer side of Batman, not really a-hole Batman, but he actually says he's proud of Stephanie and Cassandra. So there's some cool Batman stuff in there. Justice Society of America #4. Batman makes it into this issue. He's not dead. Helena Wayne confronts a version of her father. This is really cool. Written by the goat, Jeff Johns.
There you go.
So again, this is really cool stuff. There's a Power Girl one shot coming out of this, but Helena Wayne is the star of the issue. The Justice Society is dying all over the multiverse, and finally she meets up with a Batman to figure out what's going on. So that's really cool. So if you like Golden Age stuff, I highly recommend that. So the only real negative books are Detective and Harley Quinn. So don't buy those things because they suck. If you did, I'm sorry.
Unless you liked them, then good for you.
Yeah, well, if you like them, then it's good for you. But they're definitely not going to help your retirement fund.
Is this a sign of things to come, that this was a light month for us with Batman centric?
It'd be nice,
because I was wondering about that. It's Dawn of DC launching, and other heroes, which it got me to read. I read the Green Lantern #1 by
very good
Jeremy Adams and Zermanico. Well, both of those guys worked on the Flashpoint Beyond book. Zermanico's art is fantastic. But I read that Green Lantern issue, and then I read the Shazam #1 to Mark Waid and Dan Mora. So I mean, I'm not saying less Batman comics, but just make sure what you're putting out is quality stuff.
If I can get a really good Shazam book over a bad Batman book, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want bad Batman content released. And yeah, I mean, and those, so now because I don't know, maybe the focus is like, let's do the DC universe and not Batman comics and then some others. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Overall, good month of comics, but not like great. There were some heavy hitters that were fantastic. Pete, what was your favorite book of the month? I haven't asked you that in a long time.
Ooh, favorite book of the month? I gotta go. Oh man, I'm going to go Generation Joker.
Boom, my man. Mine too.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. It was Joker. It was your Generation Joker or Man Who Stopped Laughing. Those two were really good.
Yeah. I mean, mine, a lot is always put into like number ones of issues, just like pilots for a TV series. They're going to put all they can into that first one because that's going to get you hooked.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where Generation Joker has an advantage, but also it's just like it's a White Knight universe book, and all of those just worked for me. So yeah, I liked that one a lot. That was probably it. And then probably right on the heels of that would have been actually that first story in Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, Brave and the Bold takes a hit
because
of what it is.
Yeah. But it was good. That's all I got, Pete. Thanks for coming back for another monthly wrap up. Yeah. You did the work. We got it in.
Always.
May 31st, this beast is dropping. We made it happen. So let's do it again next month.
Wow.
The next time we do a wrap up episode,
you want to plan it out?
We will have seen Michael Keaton return as Batman.
Isn't that crazy?
Wrap your head around that. So we saw, this was our little appetizer, seeing that in the comics. And now,
dude, it's still nuts to me that he's coming back. Like, I feel like I'm just.
So you want to get nuts?
Yeah, I want to get nuts. I just feel so lucky. I just like. Did you ever think anything like this would ever happen?
No. Actually, listening to a podcast from a few years ago, so before this was known at all, and there was like talks of Michael Keaton before when he played Batman, and if Michael Keaton would ever again be Batman, then this or this, or Michael Keaton, he could totally be like Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond, talking about that stuff again and everything, and it's like, well, we didn't know then that we know now.
Oh,
fantastic!
How young and naive we were.
Yeah. So there you go, Pete. Why don't you go ahead and just plug away?
You can follow me on social media. That's a new social platform. Follow me on social media. Social media. It sounds like a bad thing. Anyway, cousin. You said it, not me.
I did.
Twitter, Instagram, Mastodon, Zack Snyder's favorite platform, Verra, at PD Illustrated. You can follow my news-based podcast I do with the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman, at straight _ O _ G. That's at Straight Outta Gotham. You can join our Facebook group and our Facebook fan page. You could follow the Italian Spider-Man Coalition. I do have Nicholas and Nico Caruso. That's fun too. At Italians for Spidey on Twitter. At Team Yellow Oval because Keaton's back. I'm all over BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman on Film YouTube. And check out my Instagram because I run the largest Hasbulla fan account in the United States. We're just going to take it that far. That's it. I'm taking over the country with all my little Hasbulla videos on the internet. So enjoy that stuff. Have fun with it. And Dagestan out.
Yep, there's a little Ooks calling. Do you hear that?
Ooks.
There he goes.
There he is. Ooks.
Your massive following on Instagram is maybe even more shocking than Keaton returning as Batman.
You think so?
Because that number just keeps growing, like every day.
It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous.
It's insane, but well done. As for the Batman Book Club, you can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, and sometimes even some giveaways. Make sure to subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel where Pete and I we have returned to the road to no man's land, wrapping that beast up. So make sure to check that out. If you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-okay. But the easiest, quickest, and most impactful thing you can do is rate and review the show wherever you listen to it on podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play,
Ooks Radio,
wherever. Ooks Radio, yes.
Ooks FM, Galactus AM.
There you go. Just go to the rate and review page and rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as we all know, the word is panic. So, for Peter Verra, I am Ryan Lauer. And until next time, read my pen.